If you're looking for craft room ideas, then this video is for you. Hi, I'm Emily from Homemade Emily Jane, and welcome to my sewing room. If you want to check out a complete tour of my sewing room, here's a link to the complete tour video. This video is going to share 3 different workstations that you might enjoy having in your craft room, ones that I use in my sewing room, and so you might want a little bit more details on those and maybe find one that works for you. The first one I'll share about is this kitchen island. It's actually from IKEA, and it's got a really beautiful wooden top and lots of big workspace. So this cutting mat on top is 24 inches by 36, and there's plenty of excess space here. I believe the island is 30 inches deep by 49 inches long. So it's a nice size. This kitchen island option also includes storage. So you'll see here, one side of it is completely open. It's intended for some bar stools. I've also seen lots of people use this for fabric storage. I have so much other storage that I haven't needed this space yet, but when I do, I might stack bolts of fabric here, or I might get little cubby boxes. I haven't quite decided yet, but it's great to have that space to expand. Let me show you the other side of the island. The other side of this kitchen island workstation has one long shelf straight across, and it's really good for storing whatever you might need to keep handy. I've got some bins of fabric down here, and then to be honest, this shelf is kind of like the junk drawer of my sewing room. It's kind of whatever, lots of different random things. I have like a jar of crayons in here, just random whatever things. So whatever you would want to use the shelf for, tons of good storage in this particular workstation. The next workstation I want to share with you is actually a kitchen cabinet countertop situation. So this is extra long. It is 2 cutting mats here. So I've got 72 inches wide, 2 yards, by like 25 inches deep, probably somewhere around there. Which is really, really good for cutting along pieces of fabric. If you like garment sewing, this is a good option for you. Or if you, like me, run a quilt shop and you have to cut long pieces, this is perfect. I really, really love just the large workstation cutting area. And I also love how deep the storage is underneath. So these cabinets are the full depth of the workstation up top. So if you have larger things to store, these cabinets are really great for that. I'll show you what I have in mine. So you'll see this unit that I have is 72 inches long, and it's got 3 sections here. So I've got a cabinet, a drawer in a cabinet, and then another little cabinet. And so I'll show you inside here is really good storage for all my patterns. So I've got lots of sewing patterns, quilt patterns in these little binders, and then all these color cards, user manuals, instruction manuals, all kinds of different kind of paperworky things. And then down below I've got interfacing and some large batting pieces, all of that down here. So each of these has one shelf that goes in there. You don't have to use the shelf, of course, but it's nice to have. These other 2 cabinets hold all my quilting rulers. Some of them can be pretty big, so that's really nice to have. And then on this side, I've got packing supplies. So because I run a quilt shop, I have lots of things that I ship out. So I've got just about any size envelope and box imaginable in this little cabinet right here. This workstation, it's a kitchen cabinet. It's actually from IKEA, just like the kitchen island was. And I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but I'll drop links below for all of these products that I'm mentioning. The next workstation I want to share with you is actually a modular cubby unit that you can kind of customize yourself to be the size and shape that you're looking for. What I have here is roughly 36 inches by 48 inches. So it is 2 units that are each 6 cubbies, and on the other side I've got 2 units that are 9 cubbies. So it's 4 pieces that are put together to make this big rectangle, and then I have a cutting mat on top. And you'll see there's actually like a hole in the middle here. So there is like a little black hole in the center with this current setup. In my previous sewing room and craft room, I had just 2 9 cubby units put back to back, and that is the perfect size for a typical 24 by 36 inch cutting mat. So if you have a slightly smaller space, that one worked beautifully for my previous room. These cubby units are really great for storing your works in progress, or maybe if you have a lot of similar things in baskets. So I have baskets here for crochet things or knitting, different works in progress. One of these has a bunch of pre-cut fabrics in it. So the baskets are really nice, or you don't have to use baskets, and it's actually a really good size as well for books or magazines if you have a lot of those to store. And also, if you do the same setup I did, you'll have some sections that are like the edge of the cubby. So there's cubbies that you access this direction, and these sides are really nice to put a little hook on and hang some rulers or other cutting supplies or other quilting, crafting supplies to keep real handy as you're working. I hope you enjoyed learning these 3 ideas for crafting or sewing room workstations. Drop questions or comments below. I'd love to hear if you have any sewing room hacks to share, or if there's anything else you want to learn about how I keep my sewing room organized. And of course, if you're not already subscribed, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below, subscribe here on YouTube, and then also check out homemadeemilyjane.com for lots more quilting tips, tricks, and inspiration. Happy sewing!